what I find really fascinating from talking to clients is you get some clients that took the stance that we're just going to retreat. We're going to preserve our cash and we're going to ride this out. You get others who, are in certain verticals who are saying, this is an opportunity for me to grow my business, right? I'm in the food space, I'm in the education, the toys, whatever, but some of those ones that you spoke about. And they certainly seem to say, this is our chance to shine, and it's not a time to retreat.
Definitely, I think that's definitely the case. And we're a business that's working in 11 different markets. So we do a lot of activity in the US and all across North America, but we also do we have a lot of presence in Europe. So what we've seen is actually a sort of quite a differing range of attitudes coming from brands in different markets, which is quite interesting. And the US I think is going to be slightly different to everywhere else. I think that there is going to be a big I think it's going to be a big bounce back in the sense that there's going to be a very sharp period right now that we're going through of working out what to do here, right? But there's such a need in the US for brands and companies to stay on top. And to really, to be able to take market, there's going to be a rush to try and take market share away from the competition. So I do think that there's going to be a more aggressive bounce back in the US, and of course that's going to take a while to filter through to Europe, because a lot of budget is actually controlled from the US as well on the European stuff. So they're probably going to get that a little bit later, those approvals for things a little bit later once they focus and double down on their core in the US. So I think on a global level, I think we'll see that. I do think it will be a sharper bounce back. I do, however, think the travel and events sectors, I think they certainly will bounce back, of course, but they clearly just have a different timescale to other sectors here because of just the sheer unknowns that are going on. The sheer unknowns of how right now we just don't even know when we're going to be allowed to fly on airplanes. We don't know, when shopping centres are going to return. Like we don't, even if we're out of lockdown, our shopping centres are even going to be open realistically because so you can see that there's going to be a different level of adoption for different brands, being able to come back at different points. And I think that all that's led to is actually, our role at Captify is to help work with you guys and those brands to be able to work out what that strategy should be, and actually looking at search data that is live and fresh helps us understand whether there's consumer demand for these things. And again, then we can be a consultative partner to help form that strategy and work with you guys as that strategy is worked out, depending on what it is.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like best about you guys is that you can use other third-party tools, but that's always a look backwards. That was what search behavior was, search demand was pre-corona and pre-COVID-19, right? But as I said at the start of this, you guys are on the cutting edge. You're right at the top of the spear, and you can let me know what's going on in market right now. And since you focus a little more further down in the funnel, are you seeing any different types of messaging that seems to be resonating with consumers, whether that's B2C or B2B?
I think there's been some very clever stuff that's come out from some brands that have managed to move quickly. I do think there's still, I think some messages have been a bit done straight away. I did see a funny meme yesterday that got sent around of brands saying, talking about how, trying to sort of evolve their messaging to really being about, about the sort of emotional state of the country right now, but then still trying to sell their products straight away afterwards. So kind of consumers can really see through that sentiment. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a tricky one for brands to work it out. I think they've probably got to try a few things and iterate and find out what works best. But I think this is a lot of problem. This causes a lot of problems for a lot of companies, because often the link between creative and media buying and strategy is so disparate, that actually a lot of brands won't be able to move quick enough here, won't be able to adopt and listen. And I do think it's important to be, you've got to have a different message right now. Actually, one of our biggest clients, KFC, were very, very quick to, KFC have got their slogan is normally finger looking good, and right now we're being told not to touch our faces. So, it was brilliant. I was very impressed with how they were so quick, to do that. So some brands are able to do that, to change their messaging and make it right for this scenario. And a lot of companies are going to really struggle. And again, we're just here to help as well. Like if insights can help to inform that creative strategy, if we can help with the creative build, then that's something that we would do, and that we can offer you guys to help out. Because I do think that companies have got to evolve it right now to understand. You have to really understand your audience. It's a very difficult one to work out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear that from clients where, they want messaging in market, but for some of them, it's just, we're just here for you. It's not a direct sale. It's just a message and saying we're part of the community. We want to, we want to make sure everyone, stays safe and healthy, and that's pretty much it. At the moment. So who's Captify's ideal customer? Is it agencies? Is it brands? Is it publishers? Is it all three?
I think we have actually always built up we work with about 700 brands around the world, and most of it is still with agencies. And we've really kind of built a lot of our setup is really focused around servicing agencies. So, I do think in the long run, and with a lot of our agencies, we're starting to get a closer integration with the brand itself. And that very much is of interest, because what we don't like is when we're too cut off from really getting the best out of our product. And the best way to use Captify's product is to really have it in combination with the client's data, so that we can actually look at the full end-to-end customer journey. We can overlay our first-party clients' data on our data to see and understand the search behaviors of because we've got all that search data already on those users. If we can match that together, it gives us a much richer understanding of what your existing or high-value audiences have been doing over the last 12 months. What have been the trigger points? If we can get to that level of integration with a client, then we have, we're able to do so much more stuff together. The insights get more powerful. The way that you can react quickly and customize content is more powerful. I think clients, the ideal client for Captify is one where we are using our product to its full capacity, which is informing every part of it. From strategy all the way through to buying, through to measurement. And we really strive as a business to be a core partner that can really be used at all stages in that journey. And so that's the answer. There's no specific brand. We work in every vertical, but our biggest verticals are travel, automotive, finance, and retail.
Brilliant. Dom, this has been fascinating. So thank you very much for taking the time. It's been, as I said at the beginning, I wanted to have this conversation because of that unique position that Captify has. It's been really educational about what you're seeing in the market right now. And so it's been great to have this conversation. So thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. And good luck through this period to everybody that's working hard and getting through it. And I hope everyone stays safe, and all the best. Thanks for having me.